Welcome to had6 channel. In this video, we will look into noxious. 17 adjectives with similar meanings will be reviewed in example sentences. Let's get started. Number 1. Destructive, which means causing great and irreparable damage. Destructive. For example, the destructive power of weapons. Number 2. Mephitic, which means especially of a gas or vapor foul-smelling. Mephitic. For example, the cloud of mephitic vapors lingered above our heads. Number 3. Terrible, which means extremely unpleasant or disagreeable. Terrible. For example, that's a terrible thing to say about anyone. Number 4. Nasty, which means very bad or unpleasant. Nasty. For example, there was a nasty smell in the kitchen. Number 5. Deadly, which means causing or able to cause death. Deadly. For example, certain mixtures of drugs can be deadly. Number 6. Ghastly, which means very objectionable, bad, or unpleasant. Ghastly. For example, it's hard to escape the ghastly visitor centers. Number 7. Pernicious, which means having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Pernicious. For example, the pernicious influences of the mass media. Number 8. Noisome, which means very disagreeable or unpleasant. Noisome. For example, he had spent 6 long weeks in this noisome dungeon. Number 9. Fetid, which means smelling extremely unpleasant. Fetid. For example, the air was heavy and fetid. Number 10. Virulent, which means of a disease or poison extremely severe or harmful in its effects. Virulent. For example, a virulent epidemic of cholera swept through London. Number 11. Offensive, which means repulsive. Offensive. For example, an offensive smell. Number 12. Malodorous, which means smelling very unpleasant. Malodorous. For example, leaking taps and malodorous drains. Number 13. Toxic, which means poisonous. Toxic. For example, they were killed by smoke and toxic gases. Number 14. Poisonous, which means of a substance or plant causing or capable of causing death or illness if taken into the body. Poisonous. For example, a poisonous chemical. Number 15. Harmful, which means causing or likely to cause harm. Harmful. For example, the harmful effects of cigarette smoking. Number 16. Rancid, which means of foods containing fat or oil smelling or tasting unpleasant as a result of being old and stale. Rancid. For example, the smell of rancid butter. What do you think of these synonyms? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Moreover, you can follow the channel by hitting the subscription button.